Well, hi, this is Jay Arthur, author of Lean Six Sigma Demystified and the QI Macros. Now, I don't remember how old I was, maybe 5 or 6 or 7. And, my dad was out building something, nailing 2 pieces of wood together. And I had to learn how to do that because that's what children do. Well, he took some scrap wood and a nail and told me how you just start hitting it lightly to get it started, and then you can hit it a little harder. And I think I bent it the first time. And he showed me how you turn the hammer around and yank that nail out, get another nail and start again, right? Being a little bit more cautious until that actually sticks through. Now, what I want you to do is notice that my father did not launch into a discussion of physics. He did not give me a formula. Force equals mass times acceleration. He did not go into depths about Newtonian physics, right? He just showed me how to do it. And I got the hang of doing it. Now, I want you to notice in Lean and Six Sigma, we don't do that, do we? We start with, y equals f of x. Wait, don't show people formulas. It blows their mind, and you lose half the organization, half the people in your room, because most people think they're bad at math. They're not bad at math. They can throw a baseball. They're really good at math. Only applied math, not math on paper. All right, so I want you to think about how we teach Six Sigma. Now, when I was coming up through the ranks, learning all this stuff, Florida Power and Light was teaching us, and they had a whole model, right? And the model was, first you're going to know, so we're going to talk about what it is, and then we're going to show you how to do it, and then you're going to do it. Now, if my father had done that, he'd have said, well, hammers were actually developed in the 1st century BC, or, whatever. He would have told me everything there was to know about a hammer and how nails were developed. And then, what it took for blacksmiths to make nails. And, he would have done all this nonsense. We do that in Six Sigma, don't we? We tell you the entire history of where it came from Schuhart to Durand, Deming, everybody. It's like, that's nice for people who want to know that, but most people don't need to know that. All right, so, and then if we were going to teach you something, we talk about, well, you need a time series analysis, and oh my gosh, all right? So this whole process is built on a way of learning that is dreadfully slow, dreadfully slow. Now, when I do this with people, right, I just start showing them a value stream map, or I start showing them how to build an improvement story, right? And not fancy schmancy. I just start talking about their problem with defects or whatever, right? So I learned this from my neuro-linguistic programming training. And you all know this. If you change the order of something in a process, it works better. So if we take and reverse the order of these things, show, and then some knowing, actually show and do, I'm going to put do right in the middle. Right, so my father, right, what did he do? Well, he said, well, here, let me show you how this works. Then he said, hey, you do it. Right? And then he can tell me anything he wants to about hammering, but that's the way we need to do Six Sigma. So I need to show you how to do it, then have you do it, and then we can talk about what you learned. And I guarantee you, your knowing will be vastly larger if we do it this way than if we do it that way to begin with. So that's the model, right? How do we show people how to do a control chart using some software like the QI Macros, have them do a control chart using some of the practice data in the QI Macros, and then talk to them about what they've learned from the chart that they get. Well, first of all, they learn it's a lot easier to do a chart than they thought it was going to be. I didn't teach them a formula. I didn't teach them any of that crap that we put in these classes to make them longer and fill up time for consultants. No, I just went right at, let me show you how to draw this chart. Then you're going to do it. And then we'll talk about what you can learn from that chart. Does this make sense? Just a slight difference in how we order our process. And if you think about how you learned everything as a child until you got to school, okay? In school, they started doing this thing, right? But what I want you to do is realize that that's not a good model. It's a slow model, and this model will work much more effectively and transfer the knowledge and the learning more quickly. I'm Jay Arthur. That's my improvement insight for this week.